Today, we're going to be talking about visioning for your business and crushing your business goals in 2023. So whether you've already set goals and intentions for 2023 or it's something that's still hanging out on your to-do list, this episode is for you. Keep listening to learn what you need to know about setting aligned goals that will help you get closer to your rock-solid business vision this year. Welcome to the Aligned and Magnetic podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Ashley. I'm an ICF certified business alignment coach, and they call me the money mindset and manifestation queen. I'm here to help you make your vision for your life and business a reality and doing it in a way that lights you the fuck up. If you're ready to build an aligned, magnetic, and profitable business so that you can live the life of your dreams, you are definitely in the right place. In this podcast, I promise to provide you with the raw lessons, the tools, and powerful questions to help you on the way to creating success your way. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's dive in. Hi loves, and welcome back to another episode of the Aligned and Magnetic podcast. So in my Facebook group recently, I actually asked about setting goals and what your struggles were when it comes to accomplishing your goals. Now, some of you said that you are terrible at setting goals and crushing them. Someone else said that I'm detail-oriented, meticulous, and analytical. And it's true when they say that too much analysis may lead to paralysis. And I totally get that because I get stuck there too. I constantly have to remind myself to not go too deep into the rabbit hole and to just set an overall goal, an overall vision, and allow it to unfold as I take action. So there's a lot of information out there on goal setting, on vision boarding, on business building, and accomplishing your business goals. And I find that a lot of these processes are delivered to you as one size fits all. This is what I found anyway, as I was going through the motions of building my business. And I mean, I still see it. So, there's lots of questions like, should I set SMART goals or do I just set intentions? How do I even set intentions, right? Should I plan out my entire year or should I go quarter by quarter? Should I do a vision board? Do I plan every detail of every step that I'm going to take? Should I know exactly when I'm launching new programs? There's a lot of noise out there around this topic, and I have done goal setting in so many different ways. I've read a lot of books. I have followed a lot of different steps. And what I'm going to share with you today is actually a one-size-fits-all approach because you can customize this process to yourself by digging into who you are and asking some bigger questions. Questions are really important when it comes to setting a rock-solid vision and accomplishing our goals, because we're not a one-size-fits-all, right? So as you move through this episode, I just invite you to really bring an open mind and set big goals for yourself this year, because I know that you are capable of accomplishing really big things, and this year is not for playing small, okay? So the first step to creating a rock-solid vision and crushing your goals in 2023 is creating the vision, right? A lot of us, I feel like, set goals without having a clear picture, or maybe we have an idea, but we haven't actually outlined what our big vision is, right? So what is your big vision? Like, what is your ultimate desire for your business, for your life, for you? Yeah. What is the biggest vision that you have right now? And by the way, it's okay for this to change. Like, it probably will change as you grow and learn more about yourself. And then, so that's the big vision. And what do you want to be saying by December 31st, 2023? So the quote, I'm sure you've heard it before, shoot the moon, shoot the moon. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So I love this quote because it's like, set your big vision, right? Set your big vision, create your goals, and make a loose plan so that you can land somewhere near your big vision. If you have zero plan of what you desire, you have zero idea, you don't have anything written down, like you've maybe conceptualized or felt into like what you desire, whether it's freedom, bigger like financial milestones, whether it is more travel, but what exactly do you desire, right, for yourself? What kind of lifestyle do you desire to be living? And how do you desire to run and operate your business? Because your business is actually the way you build your business is going to support your desired lifestyle. If we desire a lifestyle that's like super loose and super flowy with a lot of freedom, well, we probably don't want to create a business where you need to be in the office or at your desktop like a 9-to-5 job. Okay. So I've gotten really upset. I wouldn't say upset, but rebellious in the past where I've been like, you know what, I'm not even going to create goals for this year because they don't seem to work out anyway. And what I have to say about that is if you have no idea as to what it is that you're trying to achieve or what you're wanting to work toward, you might end up in limbo, not really sure of where you're going. And I've totally been there. So trust me when I say you're going to want to at least create some sort of vision and some sort of goals or intentions. And remember, like, life is a fucking journey, right? Business is a journey. It's all a process. So when you're setting your big vision, like really dream bigger. Go for the gold. Don't hold yourself back because of something that you believe about yourself or your business that maybe it's going to take longer to get there, so you don't want to set the bar too high. Set the bar high, get comfortable with failing, but fail forward. I'm going to talk more about this later. So don't even bother creating fluff. Like I know a lot of us think, oh, well, you know, in order to reach like 10K months, well, first I have to get to 5K. So that's what I'm going to set for this year. Don't play small if your heart really wants to play bigger. That's something that I want to get clear right now. So dig deep. What is it that you truly, deeply desire? And in order to create something different than our current reality, we need to sometimes step out of the box, step outside of our comfort zone, step out of our normal day-to-day life. So I want to invite you to really just like get creative. You can do a meditation. Maybe I'll actually, I'm going to link a meditation for you, a visioning meditation for you in the show notes to help you really set yourself up. And I'll even link a document in the show notes that you can use to help set your goals for this year. Okay? So step outside of your comfort zone, challenge yourself. If you don't feel challenged, you're going to get fucking bored and then you're not going to go for any of your goals. What feels like a really scary goal for you to accomplish? So some of the things that are going on my vision board for this year are a new car, getting pregnant, which is exciting. I don't even know if it's going to happen this year, but I want to definitely, Alexis and I want to start taking steps toward that. And then in my business, I really desire to create consistent 10K cash months. My Saturn return was freaking crazy. So I'm going to go through this in more in depth in a recap of 2022 and kind of share more about what you can expect to see from me in 2023. But yeah, my goal is to get back onto that consistent 10K cash months. I want to fill up my mastermind, my one-on-one coaching program, and I really want to help more humans build businesses that make money and feel exciting for them to run, and also give them the time and financial freedom that they desire. Another big goal of mine is to grow my visibility through publications and media. And of course, I will sprinkle some travel throughout there. So dream about your ultimate dream and remember to see the big picture. Even if you just take one step toward it this year, that is perfect. That's still one step closer, right? And once you have your bigger vision, then you can start to map out how. You can start to get clear on what projects will actually help you get to your big vision. But without knowing what the big vision is, you will probably find that you end up running in circles, or worse, creating a business that does not align to your bigger vision. So that's why with my clients, I always start with, what's the big vision? What is the ultimate lifestyle goal that you desire to live? So your projects this year might look something like launching a podcast, or sending a newsletter to my community, growing my email list, getting a YouTube channel started, starting a blog, or getting publications, for example. And what's important to remember is that your projects and your goals, which fall under your vision, right? Your goals are almost like the milestones to help you get to your vision. These can change, right? But we have to have some sort of plan to work with, so that we have direction, so that we can start moving forward. And once you have the plan in place, I'm going to talk about this more in my recap, but once you have a plan in place and you start to move forward, then you can kind of tweak from there. So what's important here is to not go super in depth and not get super detailed, but to have an idea of what it is that we're working on. Of course, following through with your plan is equally important, because a vision without action is just a dream. So we need to get clear on how you are designed to function in the world, what your aligned energy looks like, so that it is easy for you to take steps, to take action, and to follow through. I find a lot of people get stuck in like that analysis paralysis, or they get stuck in a state of fear and overwhelm when they're not allowing themselves to move through the actions and just, take one step at a time. They get way too overwhelmed, and they, stay in that zone of fear and that game of smallness until they're truly ready to stand out and be seen and get out there in a big way. So the second thing that you're going to want to do to create a rock solid vision and crush your goals in 2023 is discover and connect with your alignment, like I said, right? So we have the big vision. Now, how are you designed to operate in the world, and how can you reach your big vision the easiest way possible? My job is to help my clients remove, I don't want to say remove challenges, because challenges help us grow. My job is to help my clients remove obstacles that are holding them back, whether they are real or perceived, and to help them take big action forward in a way that feels easy to them. My desire is to make business easy for you and not something that's super overcomplicated. So human design is the foundation for a lot of what I do. This is something that I like to teach my clients. I like my clients to get to know who they are. And I also like to get to know them too by looking at their human design charts, so that I can help them kind of understand how they've been living their lives and how it might be out of alignment for them, and allowing them, giving them that permission to step more and more into alignment. So an example of this is, I have a ton of projectors in my life, and projectors are these beautiful, wise leaders. All of the types are beautiful, by the way. We're all leaders in a different way. But projectors are like the wise owl, is what one of my peers would call them. They are leaders in the world. They are very good at seeing people and seeing gaps, and they're actually natural coaches as well. But projectors do not have access to what we call consistent sacral energy. Consistent sacral energy is the life force energy. It's like your consistent motor. And so for my projector clients, I have to help them to reach their goals in as least amount of steps as possible, and to help them shine their light, because they are lighthouses in the world. Help them shine their light in a way that honors their energy, because their energy is so valuable and I don't want to say scarce, limited maybe. I still don't like that word. But anyway, projectors tend to need a lot of rest, right? And even for myself as a manifesting generator, I noticed that I operate kind of in spurts of energy. So I used to really pressure myself to complete a full workday, like 9 to 5 kind of style. And I've really tried to let that go. I find myself every so often kind of coming back to this idea that I need to be at my desk from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. But, there are seasons where I feel like I really need to take a nap during the day. There are seasons where I need more days off during the week than usual. And so I really tried to build my business. I tried to build my business in a way that allows me to take the time that I need to be creative. And that's another thing, is the manifesting generator needs that space, that white space, to be creative. So I like to have meetings in my calendar. I also like to have days where I don't have anything specific to do. So I can kind of just go into my business and play around with what I desire to do for fun, right? To be creative. Okay, so that's just a little tidbit there. And so when we learn about our human design and how we are designed to function, it can help us to step more into who we are. Instead of sending like DM templates, for example, building connections online is super key. But I'm so against like copy and paste, sending DMs like, hey, like blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Anyway, you've probably heard me talk about this before. Copy and paste templates, not for me. But what human design can help us to do is to discover a way to build community and build relationships in a way that works for you, in a way that is in alignment with your energy, right? So for me, my 4/6 profile, I am a natural mentor in the world. I'm a natural, people look to me for answers. They look to me for how to do things. So, okay, if people come to me and look for answers on how to do things, if I'm a natural mentor, how can I show up that way in my business? I tell a lot of stories on my podcast. I used to do it in my live streams on Facebook and on Instagram. And my approach to teaching people is through storytelling, whereas other people's approaches might be more of a like lesson plan, like here's how to do this. Well, I personally resonate more with storytelling. And so giving myself the permission to use that approach versus show up with like, here are 5 steps that you need in order to blah, 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 blah. Even though I might title my podcast episodes that way, instead of trying to show up like an expert, which would be the one profile in human design. Oh wait, no, that's the one profile, is feeling like you need to be an expert, right? And they are designed to be leaders and experts in the world. So instead of me kind of trying to embody this expert mentality and approach, the way that I like to go about it is honoring my 4/6 profile, building relationships, building communities, and sharing my journey with my community, with my network, okay? So as I mentioned, there are a ton of different elements in human design. This is just my chart that I'm speaking about right now. Yours is going to be completely different. Of course, you can borrow some things in what I say and whatever, but really learning about your chart and your energy is going to allow you to step into who you already are, but who you're maybe not allowing yourself to be, okay? So a couple of key elements that I would encourage you to look into when it comes to human design. In the downloadable for today's episode, I will include the link to get your human design chart. And once you have your human design chart, what I would look at are your energy types. So whether you are a generator, manifesting generator, manifestor, projector, or reflector, that's going to give you a lot of information in and of itself. I would also look at the arrows in your chart, aka your variables. One of the key variables that I like to look at is your perspective arrow and your digestion arrow. So this tells us if you are designed to think about your goals more broadly versus more specifically. And I have to say, when it comes to my client work, I can see this variable so clearly. I have clients who are, I used to call it like specific manifestors, specific and non-specific manifestors. And I don't know if that terminology is necessarily the right terminology, but I can see in my clients, like when a specific manifestor put something out there specifically, like I want to see this exact sign at this exact time tomorrow if this is right for me, it shows up for them, versus somebody who is non-specific, who maybe sets a specific goal, right? And then they don't end up seeing it or manifesting that goal or that sign. This is just one example. Other examples could be like not getting clear on how many one-on-one clients you desire to take on, or how many people you would like in your group coaching program or your mastermind, your money goals, all of this stuff. So I'm a non-specific manifestor, and I used to set very specific goals. Like I want to make 10K months this month, or I want to make $5,000. And like, this is great and all, but we need to open. I found that my goals manifest way more successfully when I'm open to receiving in a range, like broadly, and also when I'm open to receiving from more than just one like narrow idea, program, etc. from my business. Does this make sense? So when I'm setting a goal, for example, like, okay, I want to make 10K, consistent 10K plus months this year, which means 10K is like my absolute bottom baseline. That is what I desire. Universe, fucking send me 10K or more than that. I'm very much open to receiving more than $10,000 a month in my business to create my 6-figure year. And what was I going to say about that? Right. So when I go to launch like a mastermind, for example, or if I'm promoting my one-on-one, my intention is to be open to opportunities that will bring me what I desire, which is the financial goal, in more ways than just what I am focused on. Does this make sense, right? So, okay, February, I'm going to be launching my mastermind, which I'll share more about that another time, because right now we are talking about Align and Manifest, the 2-day mini mastermind, which if you are ready to crush your goals, you're going to need to be there this year, because we're actually going to go more in depth about your human design. But anyway, when I'm going to launch Align and Manifest, my mastermind, my one-on-one, whatever it is, I like to remain open. So I have my financial goal, but I like to remain open to money coming in through other means, whether that is other coaching work, whether that is collaborations, whether that is speaking, whether that is a teaching opportunity, whether that is, I don't know, anything else really that I feel aligned to participating in, if you will, exchanging in, like receiving money for, right? So for my non-specific people, creating a menu of options is super key. If you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, please come to Align and Manifest, the 2-day mini mastermind. I will teach you everything that you need to know. You can also download the guide that I have, the free guide in the show notes, and that will explain a little bit of what I'm talking about. But the real deal, if you're serious about your business this year, is Align and Manifest, okay? So the last thing that you can look at when it comes to your human design is your energy centers. So we all have open and not closed. We have open, undefined, and defined energy centers, and this tells us where we have consistent energy flow. It tells us what lessons we've learned before, what obstacles we might continue to notice in our lives, and what we might be open to influence from other people. For me, mindset is a huge one, because my mind, or my head center, or ajna, there's like a million different ways anyway to say it. So the ajna or head center for me or mind. I think ajna or mind is what they call it. It's been a while since I taught human design, to be honest. But mine is, I believe it's either open or undefined, which means that I can easily take on the thoughts and opinions of other people. But the way I'm designed to function in this world is to be open-minded, right? And so instead of me coming at you, you might notice in a lot of my content, I will offer you solutions, but honestly, it can change from one day to another, my thoughts and opinions. I'm not here to have consistent, rigid thoughts and opinions, whereas other people might be, right? So I'm here to bring information and to kind of keep it open, to start conversation and to hear other people, be open-minded. And knowing this about myself has been so key in allowing myself to teach what I know and what feels true for me without the pressure of having to feel like I need to know everything, okay? So you can kind of see how, as I'm explaining this, how human design, understanding our charts and our energy is super key to connecting with ourselves and overcoming our obstacles. Because a lot of the time we will create mindset blocks or limitations on ourselves because we believe that we have to be a certain way about something. When you connect with yourself, with your energy, with your design, with your alignment, it is so much easier to give yourself permission to be who you truly are. Okay. So like I said, I teach on all of this in so much more depth in the Align and Manifest 2-day mini mastermind. I would love for you to be there if you are ready to create a rock solid vision for your business and crush your goals in 2023. If you've participated before, send me a DM on Instagram. If you've been either in Align and Manifest or Align with Your Authentic Vision, send me a DM on Instagram and we can figure something out for you. I'd be happy to offer you an alum discount. So, number 3, think bigger and work through your fears and limiting beliefs. So, I know that you are capable of so much more in this world. And I know that you have this fire within you. I know that you have that feeling of I can do so much more than this. But when it comes to actually stepping into that and completing the actions, you might freeze, right? Fear might overcome you. This is normal when you're first starting your business and even when you're moving to the next level in your business. But in order to reach your big vision, you've got to go bigger. We need to learn how to overcome your fear, how to accept but move through your fear, not allow it to cripple you and to keep you small because, nothing is going to change if you don't learn how to work with your fear. Overcoming self-doubt and locking in the mindset that will help you accomplish your vision is super key to crushing your goals in 2023 and to bringing your solid vision in your business to fruition. It's time to lean into what is possible for you. So here are a few questions, and these questions will also be in the free guide that I've been talking about. So when you think about achieving your big vision, what comes up for you? When you think about actually taking the next step toward your vision, what comes up? What are you afraid of? What's been holding you back? What are the thoughts and beliefs that you're holding on to that contradict what you desire? Some of these might be, I'm not a good enough coach yet. I don't have training yet. I haven't made 5K yet, so why would I be able to make 10K? I don't know if I can do it. I don't have the audience. I don't have enough money. We can make miracles happen, and there's no way that I would have thought. So if you're new here, if you haven't listened to any episode before, my podcast ranked on the charts, and I would not have even thought that was possible, even though that was my goal and my intention. It is what I desired. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was going to rank as soon as it did, but we've ranked 5 times already. I think it's been 5, it might be 6. We've ranked already 3 times in Canada and twice in Italy. And so what I want you to know is that it doesn't matter what limitation exists that you think is a limitation. We can make fucking magic happen, but we need to work through the limitations that you believe to be limitations, and focus on the actions and that bigger vision, not the excuses and what you believe to be a limitation. Make sense? Remember that the mindset that got you where you are today is not the mindset that's going to get you where you want to be. So the fourth thing to do is take inspired action and follow your intuition. It is fine and dandy to create a vision and to create goals and projects, and this month I'm going to launch this, and this month I'm going to launch this. That's all great. And we need to take action, of course, in order to bring our goals into fruition. I notice a lot of people, especially in the spiritual manifestation world, feel like they can just attract their next level and not take action. But we need to have systems. I'm going to also talk about this in the recap of 2022. We need to have systems in place in order to create the business of your dreams. And the reality is that if you want to create a business, you're going to have to work for it in the beginning. So when we get too locked into the vision or our goals, we can completely miss out on the little nudges that we receive daily from our intuition. And let me tell you, these little nudges, these intuitive nudges can completely change the game for you. This happens a lot to my clients where they get locked into a particular strategy and they get so focused on what they desire. They get so focused on how many people they want in their program. They get so focused on taking action that they don't listen to their intuition because they're so focused on something else. This is something else that I'm really gifted at, is opening up our minds. Like I said, I'm literally here to open minds, to keep an open mind to possibility. So something that I really help my clients with is looking at, okay, this is the vision. You're taking these actions. That's great. What else? What else is possible? What is your intuition calling you to do? What is it that you desire to do? How can we make this fun for you? Letting go of the rules and the shoulds and focusing on doing what you feel called to do will be a game changer for you in 2023. Remember, you have to continue to take action. It's not about waiting until you feel inspired. There is a thing in human design as well, the generator, manifesting generator. We are designed to wait to respond, but we also need to put ourselves out there in order to get the inspiration to respond to, right? So trust in yourself and trust in the strategies you already have. Keep working them, but listen to your intuition and what you feel called to do. To bring the podcast back into the conversation, I took very foundational business strategy and I made it my own. I made it a party. I made it fun. And that, I believe, is how we ended up ranking in the charts, because I followed my intuition. I didn't follow what somebody else was telling me to do. I leaned into what I felt called to do. Along these lines, I've studied under people who were sure that they found the secret to success. But what I learned from these experiences is that one person's secret to making it in life and in business is somebody else's map to hell. Okay? And that might sound very dramatic, but this comes back to human design and how we are literally all so unique and so different. This is why I believe in human design and why I love to teach on human design, to help people really see who they are and give themselves permission to be themselves and to do things differently. Like I said, some people can work 9 to 5 hours, but if you're giving a 9 to 5 job to a projector, they are going to end up burnt out and uninspired. So remember, even if somebody is telling you to do something a particular way, listen to the voice within you. I know that you have it there. And I also know that you dismiss this voice because you want to believe in other people who have done it before. And it's fine to learn from others, but you need to learn how to also trust in yourself. So pairing your intuition with fun business strategy is super key to magnetizing the life and business that you desire. You can download the free guide in the show notes and also come and hang out with us at the Align and Manifest 2-day mini mastermind, where we are going to be pairing your intuition with fun business strategy, because 2023 is the year for fun action. So the fifth step to creating a rock solid vision and actually crushing your goals this year is getting support. And I know that people talk about this, and it's truly key. I resisted business coaches for so long because my first experience with business coaching ended in me doing a ton of stuff that I didn't want to even do because I put my faith in someone else and I didn't listen to my intuition. Obviously, I learned a ton of other skills that I didn't really give that business coach credit for at the time, but I realize now, oh wow, actually I did learn the foundational skills to running a business. And what I can tell you is that my resistance to hiring a business coach and investing more money into my business was keeping me stuck for a lot longer than was necessary. And so having someone who can hold space for your vision, hold space for your fears, but allow you to pave a path that is simple, effective, aligned, magnetic, and profitable, my framework, it's going to help you to fulfill your big vision, and it's going to help you to get unstuck. So if you have had the goal of, creating, whether it's $5,000 to $10,000 or more a month, and you've been struggling on your own to get there, I would highly recommend considering hiring a coach or a mentor who's been in your shoes, but who really has the coaching skills to help you bring your vision to reality. When you are hiring a coach, make sure that they do have training, that they do know how to ask you the right questions, and they're not just feeding you a ton of, business strategy and making decisions for you, because that's not how you are going to be successful. The last thing I want to say is a lot of fear can come up when it comes time to taking action. It's way easier to plan and create a vision than it is to actually show up for it and take steps. Taking steps can be scary, and that's okay. So how this shows up is that many people will end up creating excuses this year, and they'll create the big vision, right? But they'll make a lot of excuses for why they can't reach the big vision, why they can't take action. They will blame their circumstances for why they don't have what they desire, whether it's, I don't have the money to invest yet, I don't have the time, I don't know enough yet, my husband or partner doesn't get it, they don't support me. And while all of these things can be really real, what I want to invite you to do is to create a different story for yourself. Instead of ending it at, I don't have the money to invest, how can you shift this story? How can you see this differently? Maybe it's I am creating the money to invest in myself, or maybe it's investing in my business will help me to make more money in my business, right? Whatever that shift is that will help you to remove that block. And whether it's time, I create the time and space for what's important to me, right? Because this is true. This is ultimately true. We ultimately do create the time and space for what's important. Whether we choose to step into that power or not is really up to us, right? If you're just spending time people pleasing and doing what everybody else wants, then you are not in your power. So my last invitation to you is to really flip the script on what those excuses are for yourself. That is how you are going to step into your next level in 2023. I want to invite you to lean into the opportunities that you do have around you and to really just open up your mind to everything that is possible rather than feeling limited by and creating limitations for yourself, right? Limited by your reality and instilling those limitations. So if you are ready to face your fears, if you are ready to create an aligned, rock solid vision for your business, if you are ready to crush your goals in 2023, come and hang with me in the 2-day mini mastermind called Align and Manifest. This is literally going to set you up for success this year. And I would love to have you there. The link is in my bio, LOL. What am I on Instagram? The link is in the show notes. You can also download the free mini guide, which is also in the show notes. And that will definitely help you to take some steps forward. The last thing I want to say to you is face your fears this year. You're going to fail while trying to reach your goals, but as long as you're failing forward, you are on the right path. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode. We drop episodes every Wednesday, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And if you're liking what you're hearing, I would love to see a review from you. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. If you like what you heard, I would love it if you left a review. If you like my vibe, come and hang with me in my Facebook or Telegram group. I'll drop the link to my email list below where you can get instant access. Make sure you check the show notes for any other links that I mentioned today. And until next time, I'm sending you waves of abundance.